how you all doing? So it's time to mount the cab back on. I needed to get some rubber mounts, so rather than buy them, I decided just to buy some rubber and make them. That worked easier than I was expecting. I've got this punch set I bought for some job years and years ago, and it's really cool to just get it out and use it for something. Worked a lot better than I expected it to. There's probably quite a lot of different ways to go about mounting the cab on. I don't have a fork truck. I thought about using the engine crane with some mounts, but this has worked to take it off and put it on once before and take it off again and do the Raptor liner, so I figured, you know what, it's going to work this time as well. It just didn't quite go as smoothly as it did the last time, but you know what, it's done, it's fine. It's a little bit precarious, but I feel like it works really, really well. I think I put the window jack a little bit wobbly with those jacks, but you know, it's all good. It worked out in the end. Wow, it's the next evening. Feels like I put quite a lot of work in yesterday, but really just put the cab back on. Had Jack helping me, which was good. So that was the second time I've reinstalled the cab, and it just didn't seem to go on quite all that well. Had to shuffle things around a bit. Got the front end on that framework I had the cab on. Keep that up and out the way until I'm ready to work on it. And I'm going to be pressing on to working on the interior, making all that nice, ready for some paint. And then get on with that. So that's the kick panels sanded, pretty much. Pretty happy with how they look. I've gone over the floor and given it a good going over with 80 grit. Gone over the roof, gone over the dash, gone over the back. Gone over all these bits at the back. I've drilled some extra holes so that I've got the option to have the seatbelt a little bit lower. There's plenty of meat on those brackets there, so I've got a good light that much on those. So I put a welding glove behind there to stop the drill bit bashing into the outer skin and denting it, and it dropped down, so I kind of got my hand in there and I thought I was going to be trapped. Honestly crapped myself a little bit. Anyway, calamities of working on your own, huh? I'm not sure how anyone else could have helped though, but whatever. Piece of wire sorted the problem out. Got some sound deadening material put on this, so I'm going to give this a vacuum out and give it a wash down with some cleaner, and then see where we're at. Sound deadening material. That's going to go kind of putting it in the centre on panels, really. It used to slip. It used to be behind there, and it still is in a way because it kind of got cut off. But what I'm planning on doing is putting it on in the centre of the panels like that, and then it should deaden any sound. I guess I could do it like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, and put like one there. I was going to put some on the ceiling as well. Oh shit, we call it a roof. Put some underneath on each of here. And then I'm planning on just Raptor lining over the top of it, to be honest. So to roll this matting down, I've made this 3D printed part. These are like an arm for an automatic door. So I'm just going to make it up. Should be quite cool. And look, here's my tool. What do you think of that, huh? It's supposed to have all of these indentations off. So I'm going to try it with one piece and see how it goes. And if I need to 3D print a different profile of that, I will. Well, that's a satisfying thing to do. I'm really impressed with my little roller. So that's all of this Kilmat fitted. And just narrating on this video right now, I can tell that the drumming in the cab has been knocked down a hell of a lot, which is what it's for. You saw me make this nice tool. Well, you didn't quite see me make it, but you saw how I made it. 3D printed barrel. I reprinted it because the little ridges weren't as big as I wanted them. I tested it out though, as you can see from that little sequence. M10 bolt through the middle of an old bracket from a door entry, from an automatic door actually. Heavy as anything. It's much heavier than it needs to be, but it works. And yeah, it's just a matter of cleaning up your workplace, your workpiece. It's a bitumen based thing, so I'm not worried about going straight onto the metal. There's no voids there to get any condensation or anything. Made sure of that on these ones for definite. Overall, really pleased with how it's going. So I made this template and I welded these, I screwed the screws onto the back and then tacked them in place and then welded them on so that I've got a template for when I make a piece of metal to mount my heater and fuse box and shit. Clever, huh? Well, that's another couple of hours in the book. Got these little threaded standoffs installed. I am going to go ahead. Oh, well, I've put some bolts in there so that the threads don't get galled up with the paint. Put some nuts and bolts and bits and pieces on that piece over there. I think we're pretty safe with everything else. Freed off these hinges they needed freed off. On the back here, I'm not going to be super anal about stuff. I think that the primer's going to need just a bit of attention there. I'm going to leave all these spot welds visible. It's kind of like a warts and all deal. I've given it a good key with some 80 grit. I feel like the paint's going to go on there real well. I hope it will anyway. I'm going to leave the window pieces open and paint out to here with the grey, I think. And then when I come to do the interior, when I come to do the exterior, I'll be able to paint up to it. And the rubber's going to come out all the way to here anyway, I think. Well, I'm back working on the truck. I feel like I'm finally ready to start getting some paint on this thing. Off camera, I sanded down where I put some bits on here. and I think I'm going to give the whole of the interior of the cab a coat of primer and see where it lays, see what that's like. Just need to get the plastic covering up the outside, make that look real pretty. Got my extraction in here because I don't want to cover everything in my workshop with paint dust. Yeah, feeling like it's looking good. It's a little bit cooler. I have got a heater to put in here, like maybe 9 degrees centigrade outside. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. It's a bit brewer, but not really brewer. So I've degreased the whole cab. Paid particular attention to the back because that's what I'm going to focus on first. Because I've got to kind of step into there, then I'll have to degrease that again. And move things around to get all these door jambs and so forth. So basically the plan is just to take time and get a coat on. See how this extraction performs. When I painted the underside of the cab, everything in here just got covered in a layer of dust because I had no extraction. So yeah, hopefully the lack of it being ATEX rated won't mean it explodes, but should make for a fun little firecracker. So it's been a productive evening working on the truck. Been painting. It's not ideal working with rattle cans, but it's what I've got to work with. I feel like I would like to go ahead and work with wet paint, but I bought a whole box of primer. It's difficult when you're trying to paint something which is flat with a rattle can, because the siphon tube gets out of the paint and then it kind of goes all blotchy. But it's not so critical on the floor because it's going to have Raptor liner on the floor and the bulkhead. Of course, I missed cleaning off the blue ink, so that comes through. But with enough coats of primer, it covers it. There's a couple of runs. There's a bit of a sag there. I don't know if it comes out on the camera. And there's a few reactions going on in the mids there. That's probably just through not having cleaned it enough. So I got another layer of primer on after I cleaned that down and degreased it again. A little bit more reaction going on. I think what it is paint. It's a paint reaction. So I think I just need to sand it all the way down, and then get another layer on. Majority of the places it looks fine. Just generally got another can on. Oh, you see it's come up there again as well. It's not as bad as it was the first time round. There was a bit of a reaction going on here as well. Starting to cover that blue pen as well. When the grey goes on, it will definitely cover that. And the Raptor just goes over everything. There's a dent in the dash just there. But that's the only imperfection on the whole dash, and rather than doing bodywork on it, I think I'm going to leave it. I think it's a sort of 73, 72-year-old truck. I think I want to keep some authenticity about it. But yeah, just let that go off nicely and get some grey on it. Coat of grey on the back end, the interior of the cab. Feeling good about that. That goes on so much nicer than the primer. Just got this bit, this faulty bit to sort out. A few more layers of primer on that and then a little sand down. I feel like it's important just to do a piece at a time. This fan is really working out well. It's really pulling all the fumes out. Just switched it off for the video. Yeah, looking good. So that's the next day. This coat has gone off real nice. I've fixed that fault there. Ready to progress with the rest of the grey paint now. Temperature's not bad. It's about 10 degrees centigrade. Yeah. Second coat on the back, first coat on mostly everywhere else. That's the colour of the dash. What do you think? Masking tape off. So a really sharp edge on account of the fact that you'd probably want to take it off and remask it each time, but I didn't do that. Anyway, this is all going to get polished in any case. Little bits and pieces like that I'll treat. Took the masking off around the window. It would have been ideal to have had the window removed, but I didn't want to. Dashboard's had 2 coats now. Looking pretty good. Let me just turn that light off. Yeah, I think that's going to take a nice compound and that'll look good. I laid it on quite thick. Pretty happy with how it is. I'm debating whether to mask up the paint, the fresh paint, or not. Whether when I come to take the masking tape off, whether it'll just rip the paint off. Because I want to get the floor Raptor lined. There's quite a lot to it. So I think I might just leave this paint to flash off for a couple of days. And then do the Raptor lining. You might be able to tell that I'm not a professional paint sprayer, given the fact that I'm using rattle cans, but I think the effect is doing alright. All masked up, all wrapped up, ready for Raptor. It's like a wrap. Need to clean down, give it a clean, and then get it done. What do you think of that then, huh? Huh? Took all the masking off because I wanted to. And it's looking freaking awesome. I do intend to put a roof liner in. I've got plans on having a roof console in there, and I'd like to do like a quilted something or other headliner eventually. That's not like installing the engine and stuff is probably more important than a headliner. But yeah, look at that. Nice sharp edge along there. Feeling pretty happy about how it's looking. It's looking really good. I'm really pleased with it. I'm glad I wrapped behind the dashboard. I didn't want to get any Raptor on the front there. It's just little. It doesn't overspray much, but you get these little splats and they just won't come off. And I wanted some nice sharp edges on like these bits here. Really pleased with how that's turned out. It's kind of rough and ready, hey? Plenty of coats on the dashboard and on the bulkhead there, so I can give them polish. But yeah, really pleased with that. Pleased with how the Raptor's gone over the sound deadening, the Kilmat stuff. That's gone on there real nice. Sounds quite dull. Is that how you test sound deadening? Pleased in general. Very pleased. Let me know what you think in the comments, hey? Anyway, this is going to be a wrap for this video. Quite a lot gone on in this one. It took over like 5 or 6 weeks, I think, since the last video. Going to be moving on to these English security vans. We've got 3 which we're selling off. And rather than just trading them in, I'm going to clean them up real nice. Might put some compound on where the stickers still show. A little bit of paint work. One of them needs a new front bumper. A little bit of work maybe needed to repair them. And then they'll get sold out. So I thought I'd do some videos about that if you're interested. But going to prepare that front. That's the next thing on this project. I need to sand off some of this glass. I tried out the primer on there. It's just a bit shit. I need to get a different sort of primer for that front bit. A better primer. I need to I decided to paint the bulkhead's all going to be red. Same as the cowl and everything like that. There's fewer steps, less masking. And I think it'll look good. It'll contrast with the inner wings and underside of the hood, which will be grey. I think that'll be fully acceptable. Everything's nicely sealed around the window frame. But yeah, I'm actually quite looking forward to getting on to the paint. Starting to put stuff on for the last time. Get the seats in. Anyway, I'm rambling on. Let me know in the comments what you think. And thank you for watching. I'll catch you next time.